Ladies and gentlemen, introducing of Devastation Incorporated at 465 pounds from Chicago, the One-Man Gang.
Devastation Incorporated very well represented in the ring with Bad Leroy Brown, Savannah Jack, General Skandar Akbar, Wild Bill Irwin absent tonight. But Terry Taylor, what a challenge for this man, defending the television title right here on the UWF.
Yeah, but Jim Ross, first of all, I should be the TV champion. You know I got ripped off 2 weeks ago when I wrestled him. But more important than that,
introducing his opponent from Vero Beach, Florida at 235 pounds, the current UWF television champion, Terry Taylor. This match, one fall of television time remaining.
Well, now that Motor Mouth's through, I'll finish what I got to say. Bam Bam still, you can look at them videotapes any way you want. The NFL's doing it now. He got his shoulder up first, and that's all I've got to say on that. If they want a rematch, he'll get the same thing. And talking about matches, I'm going to get that DiBiase, and I'm going to strap him and make the welts on his back as big as his head is.
Well, I'll tell you, looking at the match at hand, Savannah Jack, somebody needs to tell him how to wear his color coordination.
Does he think this is Miami Vice or what?
But Terry Taylor has not only the one-man gang to contend with, and this is, okay, Michael, answer me this one question.
All right.
Why is it, in your opinion, is Akbar and his whole entourage at ringside, why are they there right now? What do you really think's on their mind?
Well, obviously, I think one thing is to give him some moral support. He's definitely oversized, you know, Terry Taylor, but what? He's got to have him by almost 200 pounds at least. I also think they're trying to throw a little, what you call a direction hint towards our way, that they're building an army and they're ready to take over the top ladder. But we're still here. I know there's a lot of other people. As you see, every week there's new wrestlers fluctuating to the UWF. It's where the money is, and that's what we're all in the sport for. I don't know that One-Man Gang would need any motivation. To have that title would put him up in the #1 ranking, which would put him right up against the champion, and still champion, Bam Bam. He went for a behind, simple amateur move, but Gang's waistline being around 60, you can't put your arms around him like that and take him down.
I don't think Manute Bol could get his arms around the one-man gang.
Clean break. Clean break. Oh, no. Terry Taylor is a very tenacious and a very good wrestler. He's a punk, but he knows what he's up against, and he's thinking constantly.
He's the #1 contender for the UWF Heavyweight Championship. Obviously, the one-man gang. The #2 contender on the top 10. A classic meeting here, 1 against 2. Where else but on the Universal Wrestling Federation?
You know, you stole the words right out of my mouth. Last week you got the title match. This week you have 1 against 2. Not to mention the fact you got P.S. Hayes out here for all the ladies.
Well, if we have time in this hour, we're going to bring you some footage of Valet for a Day. I think you'll find most entertaining with Missy Hyatt.
Well, I thought last week's footage with Missy and Johnny Tatum was quite interesting myself. I mean, I told you that thing was you know, dynamite from the beginning.
Well, you were right about that one.
And I think you helped instigate it.
No,
I think if a lot of people would have kept their mouths shut, dressing room rumors, good arm twist.
Taylor has got to have a superb game plan for this.
Whoa!
Oh, the what?
Off his feet! Off his feet and driving that knee. Once he's down on the mat, he's the same size as any man. Terry Taylor is obviously at the high pitch of his career right now. Knows what he's up against.
If he's intimidated by Akbar's Devastation Incorporated
it ain't
ringside,
showing.
It's not showing. It certainly isn't.
But he better keep an eye on him.
I noticed when they walked by here, they had a few things to say to you too, Michael.
Yeah, I had a few things to say too, but you couldn't put them on air. You see, when Bam Bam went out there, he went out by himself and did the match by himself. You didn't see me and Buddy standing in his corner, hovering over, bringing, you know, big men out to intimidate people. Because we don't have to gang up on people. We beat people up just because we enjoy it and get paid for it.
Taylor has a big man, 6'9", 465, and growing, according to General Akbar.
What he's doing here, because you wouldn't know, you're not a wrestler, is he's keeping him down average of driving his 230 pounds or 225, whatever Terry Taylor is, and that puts the pressure on the back of the arm, on the tricep muscle, and I don't care how big you are, man, if it hurts, you can't move.
We would certainly like to see everybody this Sunday afternoon at this Sunday in Oklahoma City at the Myriad this Sunday night. Special time in Oklahoma City.
That's a mistake. You got him up to his feet. Whoa!
Well, there's
465.
That's it.
Hello.
I'll tell you, he's probably the quickest big man I've ever seen, and big meaning the super heavyweights. And clubbing forearm, Terry Taylor now. And this is something that Taylor, I'm sure, wanted to avoid quite obviously, not to get into a slugfest with the gang, because look what's happening.
Well, slugfest with the gang would be like the Chicago White Sox playing the New York Mets, man. No contest. Good move. Good move. That's where he's probably got the thing over the gang is the head game, man, the psychology. He's thinking, and gang is always using brute strength. A drop kick almost got him going. Got him now. He better jump on it. There's Savannah Jack jumping up. He's got a hold of him. He shouldn't have diverted his attention. Whoa! Nice move. He's got the sleeper. Savannah Jack's down. He's got the sleeper. Can he put 465 pounds to bed? He's down to one knee. One time the arm went down. Second time, I think he's got him. There's Bad Leroy Brown. Well, you want to know why they were out there. Now you know.
It looks like they had a trap set for Terry Taylor all along. Terry Taylor.
Look at the one-man gang trying to recover. I think he had him almost out.
Taylor almost had the gang out, but look what has happened.
Whoa, they're going to Fergie over the top. They're going to try to hurt Taylor.
They're trying to put Taylor out of action.
Here comes Ronnie West. Here comes some other wrestlers. Here comes Tommy Gilbert trying to stop it. They're trying to crush Taylor. If they can't get the shot at the #1 title in the universe, they're going to beat everybody up. Here comes DiBiase. The Iceman and Chavo Guerrero. This might have an impact.
Ted DiBiase's out there. The troops are on the way. There's more help. Akbar's Devastation Incorporated now, they don't like the odds. But man, they had it 4-on-1 on Terry Taylor, and Taylor has been busted. He's been busted open at the hands of Devastation Incorporated.
I guess so. You got 3-4 guys that size pounding on you. The skin's got to give, baby, and the blood's going to come.
Terry Taylor retains the television title.
They blew it, Jim. I think they blew their chance at that #1 shot when Savannah Jack interfered.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got more time, and we'll look at the Valet Ferde footage right after this timeout.
Beautiful Missy Hyatt up here with Hollywood John Tatum and Jack Victory. Hollywood John Tatum and Jack Victory will battle in a no disqualification tag team showdown against Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and Sting. Missy Hyatt will be at ringside, but Missy Hyatt will also be in that dunking tank before the matches start from 6:30 to 7:30.
You know, let's not talk about the dunking tank right now, because Missy, don't worry, baby. You love to swim anyway, don't you, honey? You love to swim. Don't worry about the dunking.
If anybody hit in that dunker, if they hit the ball, then I'm going to go, like, in the water, and I'm going to get wet.
People stupid. They can't hit that thing. They can't hit that thing, Missy.
Well,
These people...
better now. Y'all better do something about it. I'm depending on y'all to do something so I don't get wet.
Well...
The whole last hour, I can't believe that dark journey making me, for the valet of the day, my last hour has got to be spent here in Houston. And that's just ridiculous, Johnny.
Well, I'm going to make your night a little better, because once and for all, we're going to be able to settle up this matter between Hot Stuff and Jack and myself. You know, I told you right from the beginning that Eddie Gilbert was no good. I told you right from the beginning that Jack and I could get the job done. He's done nothing but cause us trouble. Eddie Gilbert has done nothing but cause me trouble. Now, little man, you bit off a little more than you can chew. right here in front of all these people, Jack Victory and I will go up against that stupid steroid head Sting. And Eddie Gilbert, no disqualification. You know what that means? Huh? You know what that means?
No disqualification.
I can bust him in the head with anything I want to. Anything I want to. He has buried himself. And I promise you, Jack, you get that big steroid head out of my way. I get him. And Eddie Gilbert, you're behind his mind. You understand, punk?
Friday, October 17th, when all this takes place, you wrestling fans should be in the Sam Houston Coliseum. You don't want to miss any of the action that night because wrestling fans are going to talk about it for a long, long time. Iceman King Parsons here. He has returned to the Houston wrestling scene, and it's going to be great to have you back on Friday, October 17th. Superstars from all over, including yourself in action.
Right, brother. You know, Pete, I've been all over the country, from can to cane. But I got to say, you know, it's a pleasure to be here. Because as far as I'm concerned, people, Universal Wrestling is #1. And you know, they asked me to come here. So Pete, you know, I'm here for a reason and not for a season. Like Mama says, it bees that way sometime. And Art Cruz, you know, you let money change you. But you know, I can think of no better place than Houston, Texas. To straighten you out. Can you dig it? Have mercy.
Well, the Iceman's back, and he will be here on Friday, October 17th in the Sam Houston Coliseum. Don't forget, in that dunking tank. Don't forget the country whipping match.
Still buzzing here after the UWF television title really broke down into a very dangerous situation for Terry Taylor. He did retain the title via disqualification.
It's dangerous all the time. But see, I want to see this footage here, man, because correct me if I'm wrong, I understand that this isn't all the Dark Journey put Missy Hyatt through. This is just a portion of it because she had a surprise for the fans.
She does have a surprise for the fans.
Well, I just want to say one thing about it, okay?
Okay.
Dark Journey, I haven't forgotten it. Weeks ago you slapped me. And I just want you to know that's in the back of my mind, okay? But besides this, I think like you and all the dressing room rumors started the whole breakup between Hyatt and Hot Stuff when they were on a roll.
I didn't cause her problems. There's a lot deeper-rooted problem than that. Multiple problems, I think, involved in the camp of Hyatt and Hot Stuff International.
You urged it along.
Well, the cameras were there, ladies and gentlemen. We had a lot of fun on this one.
Yeah, I bet you had a lot of fun.
Let's see it now.
You're sick.
I'm glad you folks can make it. I'm just about to start my little cleaning party. I have a whole list here for Missy Hyatt to do. Why don't you just start in the living room where you are on those windows and make sure you get around the ledges. Because remember, I'm going to break out my white glove. She doesn't do anything for anybody else, so now that I have her for a valet for a day, I'm going to make sure she does something for me. So why don't you just get started?
You know, I'm really glad the cameras are here, just so all you people can see what you are, Dark Journey, to make me do this kind of stuff. I hate you. This ain't fair. I don't even know whose idea this was to make me do this kind of stuff. I hate you. I hate everybody. I shouldn't have to do this. It wasn't my idea to do this ballet of the day.
Well, that's the windows. Let's see, what do we have here? Well, Link and I usually do our cleaning up in the ring, but let's see. Blisters coming up on those hands yet? I would go to the knees, but let's work on your arms. Why don't you get the vacuum and start right where you are.
I just can't believe John lost this match and it's going to make me have to do all these things I just can't imagine. And I don't even know how to start this thing.
vacuuming's done. Now that your arms are warmed up, let's see. We have the dishes here to do. Well, I hope you folks are enjoying this, because I know I am. I'm having a great time at my house cleaning party. Let's see. Now I have dishes to do. Okay, why don't you start with this pan, because we'll start with the aluminum. I have a thing for reusing foil. And you can start with that, and let's see. Well, let's see. I'll hurry up and drink this, and then you can wash this, too.
I just can't believe now I'm going to have to wash dishes. I mean, this is awful. If I get my dress messed up, that's really going to be it. That is really going to be it. I can't believe this, Johnny. I cannot believe that he lost, and I cannot believe you, Dr. Johnny, making me do this. Now, yeah. If I mess up my hands, God. Ow, I think I'm messing up my nail polish. Gosh, this is awful. I hate this. God.
Dishes. Okay, let's see. Now that your hands are still wet, why don't you grab that can of cleanser over there, and let's head off to the bathroom. Remember I was talking about your knees? Well, let's go work on those for a while. Come on.
Well, this is it. Good, this is it, Dark Journey. I tell you what, this is the last straw. You're gonna get it. I'm gonna... Oh, I tell you what, I can't believe I had time to do this kind of stuff. I mean, Johnny, one of the girls at the country club could see me now having to do this. Ow! Ah! I hate you. Ooh.
Let's see, I got windows, vacuum, dishes, bathtub. Well, let's see. God, you look a mess. It looks more like it, though. Let's see, valet for a day. I know you people have to be enjoying this as much as I am, but you'd really enjoy it if you were right here. Jeez. I have, let's see, a little over an hour left for you. I think I'll save that. I have a very, very special chore for you.
235 pounds from St. Louis, Missouri, the Iceman, King Parsons. And 230 pounds from El Paso, Texas, Chavo Guerrero.
Chavo Guerrero now making his home in Orange County, California. Folks out there watching us on KCOP every Saturday morning, the Iceman. We're glad to have those folks along in his hometown of St. Louis on KDNL every Saturday morning. You know, you were talking to me. We waited on Rick Steiner and Sting to be out here just a few moments. We're talking about rumors.
Yeah, what about it?
Well, I heard a song on the radio today about rumors, and there was some in there, a lyric about Michael.
Hey, wait a minute. That's not Michael PSA. They're talking about Michael Jackson. You know who they're talking about. Don't get smart with me, Ross.
To clarify, I was trying to show you my musical knowledge, Michael. I'm trying to really elevate myself to your level, rock and roll-wise.
Yeah, well, you can't compare.
Sting and Steiner.
Steiner, you know, in the dressing room, I heard Rick Steiner mention to somebody else. He really doesn't understand his career's on the up with Hot Stuff International now that they're separated.
Have everyone's attention, please. I have a very important statement I would like to make. It has come to my attention that Missy Hyatt has made the statement that she would like for Hot Stuff and Hyatt International to once again merge together. Well, my answer to that is, as long as Missy Hyatt listens to that hot-headed bimbo, Holly Goose, John Tatum, that will never come about. Ladies and gentlemen, Hot Stuff International is very proud now to introduce to you, first, at 275 pounds from every man's nightmare, Sting! And 65 pounds, from Detroit, Michigan, Rick Steiner! Ladies and gentlemen, this match, one fall, or television time remaining.
Well, you know, if you ask me, from the plea, and that's what I'd call it, pleading or begging, Eddie Gilbert's heartbroken over the fact that she chose the man that brought her to where she got. She's the #1 lady in wrestling today, and she's not with him. He might be smiling right there, but by making that plea, says to me that he wants her back. But Hollywood's got her.
Yeah, he also had a couple of pretty darn pointed things to say to Hollywood John Tatum.
Called him hot-headed.
Hey, Dark Journey called him Hollyweird. I heard.
Hey, I told you what I thought about Dark Journey, and I got a lot more things I could say about her, but I won't say it on the air. I don't want everyone show in the country.
Will you tell me later?
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
All right.
I'll write it in pencil so you can give it to her. 2 good tackles by Sting there. Eddie Gilbert has definitely took these 2 premier athletes, and not just bodybuilders, he's taught them how to wrestle. He hasn't taught them just to use their strength. He has showed them that you got to have coordination to be a wrestler.
2 great young power lifters, great athletes as well. That's the important thing.
Whoa, and there's a tackle back. There's another one. Iceman, no slouch at all.
Does Buddy Roberts hate anybody in the world more than he hates Iceman King Parsons that you know of?
Yeah, probably the people at the Jack Daniels Distillery, because they'll never invite him to the yearly party. Besides them, no. He's never forgot what happened, and he never will. And anything that bothers Buddy bothers me, and it bothers the champ. Bam, bam.
Quite a test here for Eddie Gilbert's Sting and Steiner duo against a team of Iceman King Parsons and Chavo Guerrero.
Now, Steiner from the University of Michigan, as we all well know, accomplished amateur wrestler. Good arm drag and twisted, good tag. Now here you talk about a veteran. There's one right there in Chavo Guerrero.
Orange County, California, Chavo Guerrero.
You know what? He can't make up his mind where he wants to live because they keep running him out of each city. Good reversal. Whoa, what a clothesline by Rick Steiner. Good move.
He's a stallion. Oh, I tell you, he is a stallion.
Good elbow. Now see that? What a change. 2 months ago, he would not have been thinking 2 moves ahead like that. But ever since he got under Eddie Gilbert's wings, he's thinking. Whoa, good jump up savate kick. And I mean, it floored Sting.
Guerrero, that Hispanic temper, and he's fired up.
Whoa, and right back. Look at that. Now see, that is physical chess. Psychology at its best.
Wait a minute, Hollywood John Tatum and Victory. They've just hit the ring.
And they're going at it.
Tatum.
He must have heard it on the monitor when he was knocking him. This is a fight for a woman. Sting's got him. Wait a minute, Missy Hyatt's running now.
Missy Hyatt just bounced by here. There she goes to the ring.
It's exactly the right word. Look at Hollywood, Tatum, and Eddie Gilbert going at it. Jack Victory and Steiner.
The referees are helpless.
Guerrero and Iceman are just cheering them on, saying kill each other. Look at Hollywood. Look at all over abroad. I can't believe it.
Listen,
there's 100,000 of them out there, guys. Why fight over one?
Listen to Missy plead with him on the PA.
She is. She's begging him.
She doesn't know it. She's, you know, this thing is really broken down. Look at her. Take the mic away from her, please.
She's torn up. See?
The referee's trying to get the order.
She just told them both if they don't stop, she'll have nothing to do with either one of them. Well, now, I can't believe a woman would have that much power over men.
Look at Guerrero and the Iceman. They're just, you know, hey, beat each other up. We don't care. Missy's getting Tatum out of the ring.
I can't believe they stopped fighting just for her.
Well, she said...
They started fighting for her.
She made a quit. Look at her. Look at Eddie. Looking back at Eddie, and John is dragging her out of the ring.
She looks like she wants to go... It looked like she might want to go back to Gilbert. She can't make up her mind. Tatum, and they just pulled her off here.
And there you see the winners. They called a disqualification. Apparently, Eddie Gilbert's heartbroken. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with closing comments on the Universal Wrestling Federation after this timeout. Only a few moments here left in the program. It's been an exciting hour.
A vicious love triangle, man. I don't know why anybody would let any broad ruin them like that.
Well, she is certainly playing a very important part in the careers of John Tatum and Eddie Gilbert at this time. Also, ladies and gentlemen, next week we'll be broadcasting from WrestleFest 2, the Tulsa State Fair. Hacksaw Duggan will be back with us next week, as will the Fantastics. It's going to be another great hour.
Oh, it's going to be a great hour because we'll be here. You know, who cares about Hacksaw Duggan returning? Who cares about the Fantastics? The Freebirds, we made this place what it is today, man. But I just cannot get over two guys formed together, making a beautiful corporation, and over broad, over love, this happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope to see you this Sunday night in Oklahoma City at the Mary, this Tuesday night in Little Rock at the gigantic Arkansas State Fair. Please be with us right here next week on this great television station.
I'm going to have to talk with them.
For Michael P.S. Hayes, I'm Jim Ross. We'll see you, everybody.
I can't believe it.
Now we have the lovely Dark Journey and Chavo Guerrero as they're going to talk about that gang war that's going to take place when Chavo has Hacksaw Jim Duggan as one of his partners and the missing link up against Devastation Incorporated. One-man gang, Bad Leroy Brown and Savannah Jack.
Devastation Incorporated, I think they got that backwards. I think you guys better watch yourself because this is Devastation Incorporated.
Let me tell you something, man. I think one-man gang is hot. I think he's mad because I took $50,000 away from him. Well, one-man gang, this is not the way to do it, to come out when I'm down and there's the two other guys, but that's all right. I got the Duggan, and I got the link, and we're going to get you. And, baby, believe me, we're going to get down to business. I'd like to say some word in Spanish to everybody out there. Respetable público, primeramente un saludo a Goyo Hernández de San Luis, ya que me ayudó en la carretera. No hay mucha gente que ayuda. Este amigo me ayudó, muchas gracias. Y así como este mexicano, así los invito a que vengan ustedes a apoyar a un mexicano que los aprecia, los admira a ustedes como están aquí trabajando y nunca nos olvidamos de nuestra patria y para eso estoy yo aquí, para respetar a México. Viva México, y los invito. And you know what, DJ? You know, Akbar's going to be in their corner.
On the side.
And you're going to be in our
Well,
corner.
I'm going to keep an eye on
And
Akbar.
I know you're going to do, that's right.
And Link will keep an eye on me.
I want to congratulate you on your match tonight, and I know that if anything comes up, the Link's going to be there, I'm going to be there, and most important of all, Hacksaw Duggan is going to be back, and they can come on here, and it's going to take place right here in Houston.
That's right, we're going to give out a little devastation ourselves.
So Friday, October 17th here in the Sam Houston Coliseum. You've heard all about the card now. Blockbusting card. And one of the great showdowns on that card features a TV title match between TV champion Terry Taylor up against Freebird Buddy Roberts.
The Universal Wrestling Federation is #1 in a lot of ways, and the computerized ratings determine who the #1 contender is for the Universal Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship. That happens to be Terry Gordy. If it seems like I'm going around a little bit, it's for a reason. Now, the Freebirds want that policeman effect, that whoever has this is the blocker for Terry Gordy. Well, Buddy Roberts just keep trying to get this belt away from me, so the Freebirds will be in control to see who goes against Terry Bam Bam Gordy. Well, Buddy Roberts, you and I have been round and round and round, and I have to admire somebody that's as tenacious as you. Because you take a licking and keep on ticking. He keeps coming back and keep coming back, trying to get this. Well, Buddy Roberts, I guess I'm going to have to make a kind of impression on you that you're not going to forget for a while. Because you keep coming back and keep coming back, so I guess I'm not doing the job quite good enough. So, Buddy, I guess I'm going to have to make an impression on you. Something that you're going to remember where you don't want any more of me. So, Buddy, you're coming after this, and the people have been behind me, and I love Houston. Because they stick behind me, and they give me whatever it takes to win. So, you're coming after this, you're coming after my livelihood, and I'm going to hang on to it like it is for my life. Thank you, Pete.
TV champion Terry Taylor will defend his TV title and belt on that tremendous blockbusting here in the Coliseum. In addition to Missy Hyatt being in a dunking tank, in addition to the six-man gang war, there will also be a tremendous showdown featuring Ted DiBiase up against Freebird Michael Hayes in a country whipping match.
You know, Pete, I'm not originally from the state of Texas. I'm originally from Omaha, Nebraska, up there in Cornhusker country. But I spent a great part of my life in Texas. I went to school, I went to college at West Texas State up in the Panhandle. And one thing I know about Texans, regardless of what part of the state they're from, one thing they appreciate more than anybody else in the country is a good old country whipping. Now, Michael Hayes, you took it upon yourself to take a belt to my back. It stung. It didn't hurt as bad as you dropping me on my head and trying to rear. But all you did, Hayes, was you poured salt in the wound. Nobody, Michael Hayes, nobody ever whipped me with a belt and got away with it except my daddy. And right here in the state of Texas, and everybody knows everything's big in Texas, I got me one great big belt. And I'm going to take this belt when that bell rings, Pete. He's got a belt, and I've got a belt. The bell rings, and you go for it. I'm going to give you, Hayes, the whipping that your mommy and daddy should have given you a long time ago. And that's not a threat. That's a promise.
Ted DiBiase, it's going to be a savage scrap, Houston wrestling fans, when Ted DiBiase...
One mistake. And that one mistake's not going to cost you the match if it's early in the contest. So I think that's a great thing that matchmaker Grizzly Smith and promoter Paul Bosch have negotiated this 2 out of 3 fall matchup, because it really does even things. See who the real champions are. The better team's going to win a 2 out of 3 fall match, and they're going to win it most of the time. That's what we hope to see here tonight. We're going to see how this 2 out of 3 fall encounter comes about. As right now, it doesn't look too great for the Fantastics, as Sting hammering away, kicking away, and controlling Bobby Fulton. You know, the crowd has so much a part to play in every professional wrestling contest, especially here in Houston, where the crowds are always so large and so vocal. It's like the 6th man in basketball. It does have a big influence in the outcome of a match. I really believe that. Great drop kick by Fulton.
Well, Fulton and Tommy Rogers, they've made no bones about it. The crowd is very important to them, that support that they give, as they realize now that possibly they're going to need all the support they can muster up, because Sting and Hot Stuff are not about to relinquish their claim to the tag team title and belts without them being proved once and for all. And there's Hot Stuff with his own strut.
Well, he certainly thinks a lot of himself. Spends a lot of time gazing into the mirror with a faraway look in his eye. But when it comes right down to brass tacks, he's one tough individual. And Tommy Rogers has got a very short fuse, but in the meantime, here's a tactical error right here on Rogers' behalf. As Sting, he viciously rammed the shoulder of Bobby Fulton into that steel corner post. And again, with 2 out of 3 fall stipulations, where your natural inclination is to say, well, the match is going to last longer, an injury like this, an injury that's going to take a while to recuperate, could be very, very costly as this match progresses through 2 or 3 falls.
Did you see how quick Sting jumped on the opportunity to drive Fulton into that ring post? A vicious move by Sting, and Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, he's smart enough to know exactly what to do. If Fulton's got that hurt shoulder, Hot Stuff going after it, he tags Sting, jerked on that arm, so number 1, not only to punish the arm, but number 2, to bring Fulton to the mat and out of the reach of Tommy Rogers.
He sure did. He didn't look at this strength. Now, this is a strong young man, ladies and gentlemen. He just bench pressed, military pressed rather, Bobby Fulton, and this may be all. We maybe see the end of the first fall, and he kicks out a near fall, and right back on working on the arm.
So that arm now has become the target of the attack of the team of Hot Stuff, Eddie Gilbert and Sting. 2 out of 3 falls for the Universal Wrestling Federation Tag Team title and belts. But tonight they go to the winners of this battle. As referee Carl Fergie, watch on closely, you see Fulton trying one wallop after another. That painted face of Sting trying to break that vice-like grip, because Sting with that strong upper body can put the squeeze in a double guillotine drop those elbows, as Fulton now is hurt in a very bad way. We've got 2, but he kicked out.
He kicked out. A tremendous conditioning's paying off for Bobby Fulton, as Sting and Gilbert are really controlling the contest right now. And I'll say this, I'm not agreeing with their tactics, but they're sound, because they've hurt the arm and they have not had any relief on that arm. They have not allowed Fulton to really break loose and make the tag since they hurt his shoulder.
Bobby Fulton missed with the drop kick. He tried to follow it up, tried to give himself enough room that he could reach the corner of Tommy Rogers. As Sting now is a man inside the ring with that figure 4 arm lock, following up on that hurt arm. As the strategy is clear, they saw the opening. They're going after that opening. And this injury to the shoulder may be very costly to the Fantastics, because in a 2-out-3 fall match, many times what's extremely important is what takes place in that first fall. Who punished who?
Exactly right. And Fulton trying to use the headbutt to free himself, and he's so dazed he couldn't make the tag. And Gilbert, with a great athletic maneuver with that elbow, and it stopped Fulton from making the tag. Now Gilbert's walking around a little nonchalantly. Fulton needs to make the tag right here. Fulton has been dazed, no doubt about his shoulder could be very easily separated. But he's been really battered by these two men.
He's got that arm wrapped around that rubber-coated steel cable as they continue to punish that arm, trying to cause his injury possibly serious enough to not only win the first fall, but if Bobby Fulton's not able to continue the match, they are the Universal Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions. That is Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and Sting. So you can see why they don't right now want to give up the opportunity staying after that arm. And Fulton knows he's got to get to that corner and tag Tommy. As he sends Hot Stuff airborne, Fulton's down now, and he's crawling inch by inch as he gets closer and closer to the corner. The fans are on their feet screaming, and Fulton lunges, and in comes Tommy Rogers. And that drop kick of his that he does so extremely landing, and that time Rogers follows up with a right to the face of Gilbert and into Sting. And we've got all 4 men in the ring at the same time as Gilbert, now that rip across the eyes, has slowed down Rogers.
And Fergie's going to be putting out. Now there's a tag. There's a tag right there. What a clothesline. What a clothesline. And Gilbert's got Rogers pinned. There's no doubt about that.
Well, Rogers had Gilbert wrapped up. And that clothesline reversed it, but Rogers able to kick out just in the nick of time.
I thought he had him right there. I thought we'd see a pinfall right there. Fulton's having a hard time restraining himself. He's going to have to stay out of the ring. Oh! That's what can happen. I mentioned earlier in the match how high he gets up, and at the apex of his leap, it's when he extends those feet. But Sting, Eddie Gilbert, Tommy. Oh, I thought he was pinned right there. And boy, it's breaking down on the floor now. Fulton and Sting coming right around. But remember that Gilbert and Rogers are the legal men in the ring. Don't take your eye off that situation. Flying body press. Beautiful. Hitting predicament right here.
And Sting one more time came to the aid of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Rogers, and a beautiful move off the turnbuckle. Had him down. We've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3. And just a split second, Sting was the deciding factor.
And the momentum is clearly in the corner of Eddie Gilbert and Sting. They have won the first fall of the match. All they have to do, it's no small task, is to win 1 more fall out of the 2, and we'll have new UWF Tag Team Champions. It is 2 out of 3 falls. It's a classic battle.
So the first fall goes to the team of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and Sting, as we're very close to the end of TV time.
We're very close on television time, and I think that we're going to see right here, we'll keep the cameras here as long as we can, but we have got a definite advantage for Sting and Gilbert in their quest to regain the tag team titles. The Fantastics certainly have been backed into a corner in this situation.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the action tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Next Saturday night and next Sunday morning, we will see the final 2 falls of the battle between the Fantastics and Eddie Gilbert and Sting. That will be on this program next week. But remember, on the 17th of October, Friday night, we will have the cage battle, and this cage will be in good shape and ready to hold Dr. Death and Terry Gordy. And tickets on sale, 1919 Caroline. Get your tickets early, and you did. We'll see you next week. So long, everybody.
Houston Wrestling was brought to you by...
As Sting and Gilbert are are really controlling the contest right now. And I'll say this, I'm not agreeing with their tactics, but they're sound because they've hurt the arm and they have not had any relief on that arm. They have not allowed Fulton to really break loose and make the tag since they hurt his shoulder.
So Bobby Fulton missed with the drop kick. He tried to follow it up, tried to give himself enough room that he could reach the corner of Tommy Rogers. As Sting now is a man inside the ring with that figure 4 arm lock, following up on that hurt arm. As the strategy is clear, they saw the opening. They're going after that opening, and this injury to the shoulder may be very costly to the Fantastics, because in a 2-out-3 fall, many times what's extremely important is what takes place in that first fall. Who punished who?
Exactly right, and Fulton trying to use the headbutt to free himself, and he's so dazed he couldn't make the tag, and Gilbert, with a great athletic maneuver with that elbow, and it stopped Fulton from making the tag. Now Gilbert's walking around a little nonchalantly. Fulton needs to make the tag right here. Fulton has been dazed, no doubt about his shoulder. Could be very easily separated. But he's been really battered by these two men.
He's got that arm wrapped around that rubber-coated steel cable as they continue to punish that arm, trying to cause his injury possibly serious enough to not only win the first fall, but if Bobby Fulton's not able to continue the match, they are the Universal Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions. That is Eddie Gilbert and Sting. So you can see why they don't right now want to give up the opportunity staying after that arm. And Fulton knows he's got to get to that corner and tag Tommy. As he sends Hot Stuff airborne, Fulton's down now, and he's crawling inch by inch as he gets closer and closer to the corner. The fans are on their feet screaming, and Fulton lunges, and in comes Tommy Rogers. And that drop kick of his that he does so extremely well, landing, and that time Rogers follows up with a right to the face of Gilbert and into Sting. And we've got all 4 men in the ring at the same time as Gilbert now, that rip across the eyes, has slowed down Rogers.
And Fergie's going to be putting out another tag. There's a tag right there. Now, what a clothesline. What a clothesline. And Gilbert's got Rogers pinned. There's no doubt about that.
Well, Rogers had Gilbert wrapped up. And that clothesline reversed it, but Rogers able to kick out just in the nick of time.
I thought he had him right there. I thought we'd see a pinfall right there. Fulton's having a hard time restraining himself. He's going to have to stay out of the ring. Oh! That's what can happen. I mentioned earlier in the match how high he gets up, and at the apex of his leap, it's when he extends those feet, but Sting held on to Eddie Gilbert. Tommy! Oh, I thought he was pinned right there. And boy, it's breaking down on the floor now. Fulton and Sting coming right around. But remember that Gilbert and Rogers are the legal men in the ring. Don't take your eye off that situation. Fine body press.
Beautiful.
Penny predicament right here.
And Sting one more time came to the aid of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Rogers, and a beautiful move off the turnbuckle. Now, we've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3. And just a split second, Sting was the deciding factor.
And the momentum is clearly in the corner of Eddie Gilbert and Sting. They have won the first fall of the match. All they have to do, it's no small task, is to win 1 more fall out of the 2, and we'll have new UWF Tag Team Champions. It is 2 out of 3 falls. It's a classic battle.
The first fall has already taken place. The winners of the first fall was the team of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and Sting. As the Fantastics now, this is a 2 out of 3 fall battle, are 1 fall behind. Tommy Rogers is hurt, and a beautiful move off that turnbuckle. He came with a cross-body block, had Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert down, but looked like an apparent count, Jim. And then Sting came off the top turnbuckle and just in a split second reversed the whole situation. And the Fantastics indeed have their backs against the wall as we are waiting moments before, 30 seconds before the second fall will get underway.
And it's almost like you can read Fulton's lips. He's going to be all right. Don't stop the match. because, as you mentioned, Pete, in the first fall of this matchup, the fact that if one team gets incapacitated and cannot continue, the match is over.
So ringside announcer Clete Dumpster gives the countdown as Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, not wanting to waste a single moment, comes across and attacks Tommy Rogers. Since Tommy Rogers was the last one in the ring and fall number 1, he must start fall number 2. And this could be very bad news and a vicious, punishing clothesline. And Rogers is down. As Gilbert's wrapped him up, we've got 1, we've got 2, and we almost had the Universal Wrestling Federation champions decided right then and there.
8 ounces of strength that Rogers had left in his body to kick out just before the 3 count. Vicious neck breaker by Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Momentum certainly in the favor of Gilbert and Sting. They are 1 fall up on the former UWF Tag Team Champions. 1 fall to none in this 2 out of 3 fall contest for the held up and vacant UWF Tag Team Championship.
As Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert seems to be a man possessed. He knows that they're so close. They won the first fall. Tommy Rogers is hurt. He was quick to jump on with another vicious attack on Tommy Rogers, but Rogers finds a couple whops to the midsection. Well, he wasn't able to get too far because Hot Stuff was quick enough to tag Sting, and Sting picks up where Hot Stuff left off, and that could be the tale right there. 2, but 1 more time, Tommy Rogers fighting on determination.
A big offensive maneuver by Sting. He just, see how strong he is. He got so much elevation on that fist. He got so much velocity when he just manhandled Tommy Rogers, and it just jammed him into that top rope. And Gilbert with a cheap shot. You know, Fergie's having one heck of a time keeping order here in this situation.
And now Tommy Rogers, he's got to find a way of getting loose. He's got to find a way of getting over and tagging Bobby Fulton. Fulton's a little bit impatient as he decides to try to take matters in his own hands. And Carl Fergie now concerned about Fulton as Sting and Gilbert, they both worked them over. Rogers is down, Fulton's upset as the Fantastics are up against the wall right now, and Sting's on top. But Rogers was able to get that shoulder up.
Well, Bobby Fulton's emotion is getting the best of it, and he's not helping his team by letting his emotion carry him away. And I know in the heat of battle, you're going to do things that you normally wouldn't do. He knows how important this match is, not only for their career, but for the fans right here in Houston. And they are fans, they're the people's champions. They've always advocated that, and they are. As Gilbert goes for the standing suplex, but it's being blocked. And reversed by Tommy Rogers. Rogers reached all the way down with everything he had in him to reverse the suplex, and now Gilbert has been slowed, and this is certainly something that Gilbert and Sting did not want. They did not want to lose the momentum. And a belly-to-back suplex, it's near the corner. If Rogers can realize where he is, if he can hear his partner, if he can hear these fans, these thousands of fans in the Coliseum, he can reach out and make that tag.
But Rogers has taken so much punishment in the first fall, but the second fall, as Gilbert and both of them went for the same move. And you can see both men landed on the back of the heads as Carl Fergie checking over in the minister's account. He can count out both men.
He certainly could. That would be an interesting situation.
But you see Carl Fergie realizing that Gilbert's up in a position, and so is Tommy Rogers. The count was discontinued, but the action does continue. Tommy Rogers looking as he comes over, he slugs Gilbert, not realizing that Sting was behind him, but he's battling his way, trying to get into that corner where Fulton is waiting to help him out. And the tag is made.
There's the tag. Yes, sir, there's the tag.
Hot Stuff is probably not aware of the tag, Jim, and he may be a little bit confused in Fulton's finger.
And we're all even right here. 1 fall apiece for the tag team titles. 1 fall left, and you're going to see it right here on 39 Gold. Don't you go away. We're 1 fall apiece, and the tag team titles for the UWF hangs in the balance.
See him. 1 minute to go before the third and final fall. This 2 out of 3 falls showdown battle for the Universal Wrestling Federation Tag Team title and belts. Fall number 1 went to the team of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and Sting. And the Fantastics came back and scored the equalizer in the second fall and using some great teamwork. Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert never saw the tag. Fulton went and got the quick pin.
Interesting strategy here, Pete. Fulton getting the crowd back into the match. Interesting situation here. They're getting the crowd, and look at them. They're pumping each other up. The crowd's behind them, getting ready to go. They're trying to get the crowd, that six-man element that I mentioned earlier, to get them back solidly behind, to get them vocal. And that's gonna bring the Fantastics. They're gonna be able to rise to the occasion as Tommy Rogers is trying to shake the cobwebs. It should be Bobby Fulton starting the match, but they're not going to start the match with that Billy Club in the ring, I don't think.
Carl Fergie spots the Billy Club as he is not about to let the match continue with that in the ring. This is the third and final fall. Each team has won 1 fall, and as the Fantastics were smart enough to get the crowd into the match, you know, talking about that, when the Fantastics were the tag team champions, fans all over felt that they were their champions. They sort of felt like they had a piece of the belt. They felt that uniqueness of that camaraderie that they have between the Fantastics, and they were shocked when those belts came from the midsections of the Fantastics. They are behind them to recapture those titles.
It's interesting how things work out. Missy Hyatt was so involved in the Fantastics losing the titles to begin with, and now she's not even involved in the situation any longer because she's completely disassociated herself with Eddie Gilbert and Sting, but basically rededicated her personal life, and I guess her business life as far as that's concerned, to Hollywood John Tatum, and of course his partner Jack Victory. And this is the third and deciding fall. We'll find out. The winner of this fall will become the new UWF Tag Team Champions. This is not the time to go to the fridge and get a sandwich. Let's stick around and watch this one, because we're going to have new Tag Team Champions if we can get a deciding fall, and you're going to see it where else but on 39 Gold, your home for Houston Wrestling, right here.
Fulton beating a tattoo on the face of Hot Stuff as Tommy Rogers was quick to Kata Fulton. They're not about to let Sting come in and try to score a fall much like they did that first fall when Sting just literally exploded on the scene. But now, third fall, it puts in that element that one mistake, just that one mistake, could spell defeat for one of these teams. Up and over. Both men went over, Jim. Both men went over the top rope.
And the referee is not calling for the bell. I think that's a very judicial judgment there that Fergie has used. There was no disqualification there. Both men went over. Both men, I think, a lot of their own impetus took them over, but the referee is counting. A count-out would stop this match, and we would not have Tag Team Champions crowned here. A count-out would make it a draw, so both men fighting desperate to get back in the ring. They're there, and they're all over the ring. Drop cradle. Who's pinned? I don't know. Eddie Gilbert was underneath there. It's hard to see.
But nevertheless, Fulton now, again with that tag. This is the type maneuver that won the second fall for him. Again, that teamwork. And now the Fantastics have landed with that flying clothesline. Rogers is the legal man in. So is Gilbert. It's Rogers who's climbing on top. We've got 1, we've got 2, but no 3. As controversial as he is, you have to tip your hat to Hot Stuff for being able to still kick out after receiving that clothesline.
Oh, he's double tough, no doubt about that.
1, 2, and again, just one shy of regaining the Universal Wrestling Federation Tag Team title and belts. Tommy Rogers was going for a nasty, vicious move by Hot Stuff.
That was, what I've heard termed as an inverted atomic drop. In any of us going to have the same effect. It jams that spinal cord. It jams the spine. The lower back takes a tremendous amount of punishment from that particular maneuver. And
Rogers going for a small package. 2 and no 3. as you sort of felt the thousands and thousands here in the Coliseum start to stand at their feet. I tell you, the Fantastics win these belts back. This Coliseum is going to erupt.
Oh, the roof will come off.
And they've got that teamwork on again. The 1-2, and Gilbert against last split second finds the key out of it.
Well, if there are any fans out there for Eddie Gilbert Sting, I'm sure they're rooting for him to make the tag, because if he doesn't, he's going to be in deep trouble. But as soon as I say that, he rakes the eyes, takes a shortcut, and he's right back in it.
And now he's working over Fulton, as Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert has shown his ability to take punishment. But we've said a lot of things about Hot. One thing we've never said, that it wasn't tough. And with Sting as his partner, you can see that the Fantastics do have their work cut out for them if they want to regain those tag team title and belts. That's Bobby Fulton on the floor. Tommy Rogers giving some words of advice and strategy, as both of these men, they know plenty of tag team strategy. They know that they are just one move away. That quick move or that devastating tag where they can come across that clothesline again. It almost worked for them just a few minutes ago.
Sure does. Sting's out there. And he tried to run. Looked like he was going to try to run into the post again. And that reversed. The Sting went into the post.
And that's the Sting out there. And Fulton lowering the boom on Sting. A good close-up shot of the action outside the ring, as he slaps the sleep hold on him. Bobby Fulton staying at the Sting as he's looking for that ring post, and that he was setting out to do, to return the favor that Sting gave him in the first fall.
I don't care how big and strong you are, with those big muscles and all that strength, that post is stronger. And now his turnabout is fair play, as the old saying goes, and that's what we're seeing here. The Fantastics now working over Sting. We're seeing them at their best here now.
And now as the Fantastics came across the arm of Sting, the strategy that was used against him in the first fall, they're reversing. Now, wait a minute. This is a tag title match, and John Tatum is down harassing Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Inside the ring, we've got the Fantastics working over Sting, but outside the ring, everything's busting loose. Victory in Hollywood John Tatum working over Hot Stuff Gilbert. Sting outside the ring as it's busted loose here in the Coliseum. The bell has sounded as the Fantastics are looking back. They've just stepped back because they're not about to get involved in this war.
Well, Missy Hyatt rejected Eddie Gilbert, turned it back on him and Sting, and Gilbert and Tatum have had a feud. They have had an unofficial feud for a long time. I can tell you that from first-hand knowledge of what you've got now. Look at the Fantastics standing in the corner. They've got to be frustrated because the referees call for the bell. This thing's broken down, and Gilbert and Sting, they're going to the dressing room, and Tatum and Victory have completely disrupted this thing. They want to beat up Gilbert and Sting in any way they can, but they have ruined the Fantastics' opportunity to regain the title belts right here.
Well, the status of tag title belts were at stake. Therefore, the Fantastics are not real happy with Hollywood John and Jack Victory, as evidenced by those drop kicks. As referee Carl Fergie has called for the bell, and again the Fantastics explode with that double drop kick. The high five, the fans are fired up, but we still haven't heard the official verdict from Carl Fergie.
Well, we'll wait to hear the verdict, but, you know, the Fantastics, this is a terrible thing to happen to them, because they have just got back on the offensive. Now, they've got the belts, but we don't have a decision that they've been awarded the championship. I really don't think that Fergie can award the match because of Tatum and Victory's interference with Gilbert and Sting. I mean,
but that does not mean that they get the belt.
Well, it's hard to tell, but
Cleet Dumpster was talking with Carl Fergie. He's called for the disqualification, but as we all know, it's been this way for years. That's what I was so frustrated about. the belts can't change hand on a no disqualification unless that has been so stipulated, which it was not. It was a 2 out of 3 fall match. We've got a disqualification. That's why I was saying my frustration was coming from the fact that John Tatum and Jack Victory have really interfered in the men you see in the ring's opportunity to regain the titles. Their attack on Gilbert and Sting has unprovoked. We knew it was going to happen sooner or later, but unfortunately the Fantastics are paying for it.
Yes, they're the team that is actually being punished. It looks like they won the match on disqualification, but they lost the opportunity that they've been striving for, and that's to win back those tag team title and belts.
Well, I can't wait till the Fantastics get another opportunity. We will certainly investigate and look into this situation and get the contracts negotiated for as soon as possible. But Tatum and Victory need to settle their situation with Gilbert and Sting, and they need to settle it quickly because this is certainly uncalled for. I wouldn't care personally if all 4 of them beat each other to death. Maybe that's what's going to happen.
We'll be back here in the Coliseum with more Houston wrestling action after these important messages. On Friday, October 17th, when Houston Wrestling has that big blockbusting card, there'll be a 6-man tag war that has fans talking. General Skandar Akbar's Army of Devastation Incorporated includes a big 1-man gang. Savannah Jack plus Bad Leroy Brown.
Brown. And you know, you little Skandar, I'm talking to you, Chavo. You got just a little taste when you stuck your nose in my business. Well, now you're going to join forces with the dirtiest and the smelliest, no-good hippie that walks the face of the earth, and that's Jim Duggan. And they got that miserable link, you know. I managed the missing link at one time. I knew what it took to keep the link in place because I beat his dirty hide every day, and I kept him secluded in a room where he couldn't commute with any kind of society. He's an animal. He should be in an institution. But after October the 17th, and one of the biggest cards ever in Houston, it's going to be 6-man tag team warfare. And we got Bad Leroy Brown, Savannah Jack, and the irrepressible 1-man gang. And gang, I want you to tell these people out here just how you're going to do it all. Let me tell these TV people one thing. We left Chavo Guerrero land. We land October 17th. We're going to leave 3 of them land. Chavo, Duggan, Missing Link, you are going down in Houston, Texas. Right, that's the way it's
This
gonna be.
6-man gang war, Devastation Incorporated, as they go up against Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Chavo Guerrero, and the Missing Link. What a combination on both sides. It's all going to break loose.
It's unbeatable. And you know I'm the greatest man in the history of this sport. I'm the Godfather, and nobody goes against the Godfather.
Another tag team battle that features the attention of all wrestling fans as Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and Sting go up against Hollywood, John Tatum, and Jack Victory.
Oh, it's Holly Goof, John Tatum, and you know what? Jack Victory. I don't really particularly care from now on. I don't even want to talk about these 2 guys. I don't even want to say their names. They have disgusted me and this man so bad. Guys, that we thought. Sting told me, though. Sting told me there's something about John Tatum he didn't like. There's something about Jack Victory he didn't like. But I said, oh, we got to listen because Missy's got a lot of money. And we're in trouble right now. We need that money, and I'm going to be nice to Missy. But you know, there's just so much you can take, Houston, Texas. There's just so much you can take. I've had enough backstabbing from you, John Tatum. I've heard your name too much. But obviously, John Tatum, Holly Goof, you don't know who you're messing with. Why don't you go and ask Cowboy Bill Watts? Why don't you go ask Hacksaw Jim Duggan? Go ask DiBiase. Go ask Taylor. No. Matter of fact, why don't you just go out and ask any wrestling fan in Houston, Texas, who you're messing with? You stepped on the grounds of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and my main man Sting, the man I know that'll stick behind me and beside me through thick and thin. And in Houston, Texas, with no disqualification, where anything goes. Let Missy Hyatt saying that you're in the building, I don't care. John Tatum, we're going to see between me and you who the real man is, and Sting has promised me he's going to kick Jack Victory's butt, and we're going to walk out of Houston, Texas, and every woman in that building is going to know who the real men are.
That's right.
So Missy Hyatt will be at ringside. Regardless of what takes place before the matches in that dunking tank, the Missy Hyatt will be stuck in for 1 hour. And don't forget, you wrestling fans will have an opportunity. Underway, one fall with a 30-minute time limit from the Sam Houston Coliseum, as we see the back of Chavo Guerrero as he leans against the ropes, as he is going to battle Savannah Jack. Your referee for this event is Tommy Gilbert. My name is Peter Burkholz, alongside promoter Paul Bosch, as Chavo Guerrero quickly takes Savannah Jack down to the mat and slaps that reverse arm bar and that figure forearm lock now. But Savannah Jack has been improving. After the show, we've been watching him, and under the guidance of General Skandar Akbar, who is outside on the ring, Savannah Jack is becoming a tougher foe.
Yes, he is improving, but you've got to say this about Chavo Guerrero. With him, there isn't that room for improvement. He is a polished and accomplished wrestler and has been now for a number of years, and he's a veteran of the ring. Former world's junior heavyweight champion and a man who did the title a great service by elevating it into an international thing.
Well, Chavo came back and exploded with that right forearm, crashing against the chest of Savannah Jack, and you saw how it sent Savannah Jack reeling back across the ring. And now a good go behind and a takedown by Chavo, as Chavo Guerrero has one of those great wrestling abilities and capabilities, and he's incorporated into a good wrestling attack. He is one man who has been able to incorporate his great amateur background along with his professional wrestling knowledge into a formidable attack. You mentioned before, Paul, former world's junior heavyweight champion, and what a world's junior heavyweight champion he was, wrestling all across the world.
Right, and don't forget that his father was world's middleweight champion, then the world's light heavyweight champion. He's got two brothers who wrestle, Armando and Hector, so he is of wrestling stock all the way through. And this head scissor that he's putting on there is something that his father used to like to apply, whether he was wrestling in Mexico, down through Central America, or any place in the United States.
Well, you're looking at two individuals now who are both going to be participants in that wild six-man tag war. Going to take place here in the Sam Houston Coliseum on Friday, October 17th. That tremendous blockbusting card that will feature a steel cage battle with Steve Dr. Williams up against Terry Bam Bam. The dunking tank featuring Missy Hyatt. But that six-man tag, Paul, team of Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Missing Link, and Chavo Guerrero up against Devastation Incorporated under the guidance of General Akbar and one-man gang, Savannah Jack and Bad Leroy Brown. What a tremendous showdown that's going to be. Six big, rugged individuals, and the combination of Duggan, Link, and Chavo Guerrero is a dynamite combination.
Well, I like to just look at Link and Duggan as being two of the toughest characters I've ever seen. They're the hardest people to hurt, and they sure know how to hurt the man they're in the ring with.
Savannah Jack that time found a tough landing as Chavo Guerrero used that monkey flip, a hold that he uses extremely well, and a flying cross body block. Chavo's on top. We've got two, but no three. As General Akbar watching, quite concerned outside the ring. He knows the reputation of Chavo as he comes in to try to help Savannah Jack. The bell is ringing, and Chavo is now facing both men.
The General made an error when he stepped in there with Chavo Guerrero.
Well, the
Guerrero right now is in trouble.
Well, Savannah Jack and General Skandar Akbar both working over Chavo Guerrero. Chavo, who has won the match, but General Akbar has so many times determined to go out and win the war, and that double clothesline sends Chavo down to the mat. The bell is sounding, the match is over, and that's one-man gang, that big, rugged, dangerous individual. They've got him stretched out, and one-man gang comes up and with a splash. And crushed Chavo Guerrero. Nearly 500 pounds. And Chavo Guerrero is hurt inside the ring, and into the ring comes Jesse as he rushes to the aid of Chavo Guerrero. Terry Taylor's there, but Chavo Guerrero was stretched out by General Akbar, and Savannah Jack, a one-man gang, came across with that nearly 500 pounds, that avalanche, that big splash. no matter what you call it, the effects are still the same. And that's Missing Link. And the Missing Link is not afraid of anybody, including one-man gang.
That Missing Link is looking now to even the score with all three of them. I think Akbar has gone a little bit too far.
Well, General Akbar causing a disqualification, but he may have also caused one more underlying factor. That's Dark Journey you now see in the ring, because on Friday, October 17th, that same Missing Link, that same Chavo Guerrero, and you add the ingredient of Hacksaw Jim Duggan, you've got an all-out war on the 17th.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I didn't expect to see Chavo Guerrero getting a beat. Not after that avalanche landed on him.
Well, October 17th, that six-man gang war with Missing Link, Chavo Guerrero, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan up against General Skandar Akbar, Devastation Incorporated. That's one-man gang, Savannah Jack, and Bad Leroy Brown. We'll be back with more exciting Houston wrestling action in just one moment.
John Tatum.
I don't believe it.
And Victory. They just hit the ring.
And they're going at it. Tatum must have heard it on the monitor when he was knocking him. This is a fight for a woman. Sting's got him. Wait a minute, Missy Hyatt's running down.
Missy Hyatt just bounced by here. There she goes to the ring.
This is exactly the right word. Look at Hollywood, Tatum, and Eddie Gilbert going at it. Jack Victory and Steiner.
The referees are helping.
Guerrero and Iceman are just cheering them on, saying kill each other. Look at Hollywood, look at all over abroad. I can't believe it.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Universal Wrestling Federation from Barton Coliseum in Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm Jim Ross. Thank you very much for being with us, everybody. We have a tremendous crowd here in the state capital of the land of opportunity. A tremendous television program. You've just seen some footage. The big brawl, the fight that broke out between Eddie Gilbert and Sting, and Hollywood John Tatum and Jack Victory. We'll talk more about that situation as the hour progresses. Also in this hour, we will specifically address the television title situation. We have a new television champion. You'll also see a rematch for the UWF tag team titles. The Fantastics have regained the championship. They did so in Tulsa, Oklahoma, September the 27th, and we will see them in their first rematch on television against Eddie Gilbert and Sting in this hour. Plus, we'll have big news about the national television taping debuting in the Cowtown Coliseum adjacent to Billy Bob's Texas. That will take place in Fort Worth, Texas on Sunday, October the 19th at 7:30. So many exciting things in the hour to tell you about. A lot of dignitaries here in Little Rock. Secretary of State Bill McEwen with us. And we will talk about that situation. But right now, let's go to the ring and ring announcer Nick Avance.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first match tonight will be a one fall with a 10-minute time limit. In the ring at this time, weighing 265 pounds, from Wichita, Kansas, Art Cruz.
Iceman King Parsons making his way to the ring here at Barton Coliseum and the Universal Wrestling Federation. We also see Chris Adams in the ring. Now let's go back up to Nick Avance.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the ring at this time, from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing 231 pounds, Iceman King Parsons. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you've recognized another guest in the ring. I'd like to turn over to gentleman Chris Adams.
Thank you, Nick. First, I'd like to apologize for interrupting the match, but I do have a few important things to say. Now, a lot of people have been talking, and they say, well, where's Chris Adams gone? Well, you know, where is he? What's happened to him? Well, here I am with the UWF. So let me just tell you a story. Now, I was with another organization, and you know, that organization made me what I am today. Now, there's a lot of controversy about the world title belt that I held. Well, I have to officially tell you people that I was the undefeated champion, but I had to relinquish my belt when I couldn't make a venue on the West Coast. So unfortunately, I no longer hold that belt. But the main reason that I'm here in the UWF is because I know, all you people know, that it is the #1 rated sports program in the United States today. And I'm here simply because of the better competition. Now, people like the Freebirds, other people that... What's he doing here? Excuse me, if you wouldn't mind, I'd just like to finish what I was going to say, okay? Like I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, the most progressive professional wrestling in the world is right here in the UWF, and I would like to be part of it if it's okay with you. Terry Gordy, to cut a long story short, I am after your world title, and I'm sure with all these people behind me, I'm going to get that one too.
Hold it, Adams. I want you to hear this. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. Get back in here. Now, you come out here, you shoot your big mouth off your first appearance in UWF, and you want a title. Well, I come out here week after week and have to face all you horrendous people, knowing full well that the one-man gang, Savannah Jack and Bad Leroy Brown, each of them in their own right, should be the UWF heavyweight champion, and only because Terry Gordy and the rest of the Freebird organization have a big fat yellow streak down their back is the only reason that we're not champions. Well, you listen and listen good, Adams. Just a minute, Big Mouth. You got your gear with you tonight, your wrestling trunks, or did you conveniently forget them? Well, speak up.
Akbar, I will speak up. Sure, it just so happens I do have my wrestling trunks and boots. So you bring on whoever you want, and I'll tell you what, you bring them on right here tonight, and I'll take them on in front of all these people. It'll be great for me.
Well, I got news for you, Adams. Savannah Jack has got the genuine super kick, and he's a man that can put you out. Enough said, so you put your money where your mouth is, if you've got any money.
Got it, that's right.
One fall with a 10-minute time limit.
Well, we're finally going to get this match started. General Skandar Akbar, Chris Adams came to the ring to make a brief announcement. And with Akbar's long-winded dissertation, we finally get the match started, and it looks like we're going to see a match that was not scheduled. Gentlemen, against Savannah Jack later in the hour. So we'll keep you apprised of that. Iceman King Parsons and Art Cruz here on the Universal Wrestling Federation on our first match of the evening. Iceman with a high vertical body press, and Cruz kicking out. Iceman with a great drop kick. And another from the man from St. Louis. Iceman King Parsons looking very crisp here on the Universal Wrestling Federation as Arthur Cruz complaining somewhat to referee Carl Fergie that his hair was pulled. I did not see that, however. Coming up in the next segment, ladies and gentlemen, we will update you completely on the television title situation. Also, you'll see the missing link in the match we just heard about. Apparently, Chris Adams will wrestle Savannah Jack in the hour. We'll also see Big Bad Leroy Brown and the UWF Tag Team Championship rematch right here on television in the hour. Art Cruz clubbing right hands on Iceman King Parsons. And now Cruz taking a blatant shortcut and raking Iceman over that second rope. Cruz with the right hand. And now Art Cruz has taken over on Iceman King Parsons as we prepare tonight for a tremendous night of excitement in Springfield, Missouri, tonight at 8 o'clock, coming to Wichita, Kansas, and Kansas City. In the next couple of days, also at the beautiful Chaparral Center in Midland, Texas. And Cruz goes to the well. It was dry on that occasion, and Iceman is chopped. I think Iceman's naturally a southpaw, but he is ambidextrous when it comes to throwing those power-packed fists. High elevation by the Iceman, and now Art Cruz is reeling. Iceman with a vertical press. Only a count of 2 in that situation. Nice reversal by Cruz. Iceman King Parsons. And I don't know what you call that, but it sure was effective. Vertical body press, got the leg, and 1, 2, 3. We've got a winner, Iceman King Parsons, and we'll be back for more UWF action after this timeout. Federation. In this segment, we're going to address the UWF television title situation. We have a new champion. On September 28th, Freebird Buddy Roberts defeated Terry Taylor in Oklahoma City's Myriad Center to become the new UWF television champion. We're going to show you the closing moments of that match in just a few moments. But in the meantime, I'd like for you to see 2 videotape replays. The first one, Terry Taylor involved in a tremendous match last week with a giant one-man gang for the television title. Taylor escaped with the championship, but not without injury. We'll show you the closing moments of that matchup, and then you will hear an interview that I conducted with Terry Taylor just before going into the ring in the Myriad in Oklahoma City, and you'll hear both those, and then we'll be right back. Let's see it now, the feature on Terry Taylor.
Got him now. He better jump on it. There's Savannah Jack jumping up. He's got a hold of him. He shouldn't have diverted his attention. Whoa! Nice move. He's got the sleeper. Savannah Jack's got the sleeper. Can he put 465 pounds to bed? He's down to 1 knee. One time the arm went down. Second time, I think he's got him. There's Bad Leroy Brown. Well, you wanted to know why they were out there. Now you know.
It looks like they had a trap set for Terry Taylor all along. Terry Taylor.
Look at the one-man gang trying to recover. I think he had him almost out.
Taylor almost had the gang out, but look what has happened.
Whoa, there goes Carl Fergie over the top. They're going to try to hurt Taylor.
They're trying to put Taylor out of action.
Here comes Ronnie West. Here comes some other wrestlers.
We've just seen the footage of last week's tremendous matchup between Terry Taylor and the one-man gang for the television title. Before we start this, I got to say, congratulations. Insurmountable odds last week, but you left there as a television champion.
Yeah, I almost left in a few pieces thinking that it was a very, very hard match. I'm glad to be out like this.
One of the key points that I think I want to bring up in the time that we're spending here is the injury situation. Now, a lot of fans don't know, it's not public knowledge, but I know that you didn't come out of that match last week without injury. Laceration, but there are other things.
Yeah, when you got somebody like a one-man gang dropping on you, then you got Leroy Brown, both of them won 300 pounds, the other one's 400. Savannah Jack getting his cheap shots in, and then General Skandar Akbar. They're like vultures. They see you down, and they just keep coming and keep coming. I'm just glad you guys came to help me out.
Well, I know the fans will agree with that. The key point here, I think, Terry, is the fact that are you making the right decision to put this title on the line in just a few moments against Buddy Roberts? Is that the thing to do at this point in time, knowing the physical condition that you're in?
Yeah, I think so, absolutely, because the people watch. I've signed a contract, and Buddy Roberts is a qualified athlete, and I feel like anybody that's ever been in any athletics at all, whether it be professional or otherwise, you have to play with, and a professional has to go no matter what. And yes, the one-man gang did take liberties last week, and everybody saw it. But Buddy Roberts and I have signed this match. He's looking forward to it. He's ready, and I have to do the best I can to get ready for this match.
You made a commitment to the fans, it sounds like, that you're going to keep.
Sure. When you sign a contract to people, it's been advertised, and people say, hey, I'm going to go watch Terry defend the belt against Buddy Roberts. And if I just say, well, and it's my option that I can sometimes postpone a match, I just feel like the people that paid to watch it that one time will be let down, and I don't want to be known as that kind of champion that picks his spots. I want to be known as a fighting champion that put the title up every time he could.
And today it's Buddy Roberts, and it's going to be quite a tremendous contest. And I want to tell you, the very best of luck to you. It's going to be quite a challenge. Their third time may be the charm.
Well, thank you. He's been coming, and he's been coming, and he's been coming. He's getting close. We'll just see if he's got it today.
We'll see that match in the hour. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Terry Taylor had a tremendous matchup with the one-man gang, and you heard my questions to Terry. He's a people's champion. He wanted to go in the ring and defend his title against Freebird Buddy Roberts. And now let's join seconds of that match and show all of you just exactly how Buddy Roberts became the television champion. As you notice here, watch Roberts' hands blatantly pulling the tights of Terry Taylor. The referee down counting the shoulders. No way he could see that the tights were being pulled. But Buddy Roberts, as a result of that maneuver, became the new Universal Wrestling Federation television champion. We do not change decisions by looking at videotape like the National Football League. Terry Taylor will get a rematch and will have more exciting action. Featuring the Missing Link and Dark Journey right after this timeout from the Universal Wrestling Federation.
To the Houston wrestling scene, and it's going to be great to have you back on Friday, October 17th. Superstars from all over, including yourself in action.
That's right, brother. You know, Pete, I've been all over the country, from can to cane. But I got to say, you know, it's a pleasure to be here. Because as far as I'm concerned, people, Universal Wrestling is #1. And you know, they asked me to come here. So, Pete, you know, I'm here for a reason and not for a season. Like Mama says, it bees that way sometimes. And Art Cruz, you know, you let money change you. But you know, I can think of no better place than Houston, Texas. To straighten you out. Can you dig it? Have mercy.
Well, the Iceman's back, and he will be here on Friday, October 17th in the Sam Houston Coliseum. Guerrero, as they're going to talk about that gang war that's going to take place when Chavo, Hacksaw Jim Duggan as one of his partners, and the Missing Link up against Devastation Incorporated. One-man gang, Bad Leroy Brown, and Savannah Jack.
Devastation Incorporated, I think they got that backwards. I think you guys better watch yourself, because this is Devastation Incorporated.
Let me tell you something, man. I think one-man gang is hot. I think he's mad because I took $50,000 away from him. Well, one-man gang, this is not the way to do it, to come out when I'm down and there's the two other guys, but that's all right. I got the Duggan, and I got the Link, and we're going to get you. And, baby, believe me, we're going to get down to business. I'd like to say some word in Spanish to everybody out there. Respetable el público, primeramente un saludo a Goyo Hernández de San Luis, ya que me ayudó en la carretera. No hay mucha gente que ayuda. Este amigo me ayudó, muchas gracias. Y así como este amigo es mexicano, así los invito a que vengan ustedes a apoyar a un mexicano que los aprecia, los admira a ustedes como están aquí trabajando y nunca nos olvidamos de nuestra. Y para eso estoy yo aquí, para representar a México. Viva México, y los invito. And you know what, DJ? You know, Akbar's going to be in their corner, and you're going to be in our corner.
I'm going to keep an eye on Akbar.
And I know you're going to do, that's right.
And Link will keep an eye on me.
I want to congratulate you on your match tonight, And I know that if anything comes up, the league's going to be there. I'm going to be there. And most important of all, Hacksaw Duggan is going to be back. And they can come on here, and it's going to take place right here in Houston.
That's right. We're going to give out a little devastation ourselves.
So Friday, October 17th here in the Sam Houston Coliseum. You've heard all about the card now. You make your plans to be here. Get your tickets early, but be here in the Sam Houston Coliseum Friday, October 17th. In addition to Missy Hyatt being in the dunking tank, in addition to the six-man gang war, there will also be a tremendous showdown featuring Ted DiBiase up against Freebird Michael Hayes in a country whipping match.
You know, Pete, I'm not originally from the state of Texas. I'm originally from Omaha, Nebraska, up there in your country. But I spent a great part of my life in Texas. I went to school, I went to college at West Texas State up in the Panhandle. And one thing I know about Texans, regardless of what part of the state they're from, one thing they appreciate more than anybody else in the country is a good old country whipping. Now, Michael Hayes, you took it upon yourself to take a belt to my back. It stung. It didn't hurt as bad as you dropping me on my head and trying to end my career. But all you did, Hayes, was you poured salt in the wound. Nobody, Michael Hayes, nobody ever whipped me with a belt and got away with it except my daddy. And right here in the state of Texas, and everybody knows everything's big in Texas, I got me one great big belt. And I'm going to take this belt when that bell rings, Pete. He's got a belt, and I've got a belt. The bell rings, and you go for it. I'm going to give you, Hayes, the whipping that your mommy and daddy should have given you a long time ago. And that's not a threat. That's a promise.
Ted DiBiase. It's going to be a savage scrap, Houston wrestling fans, when Ted DiBiase battles.
Weighing 240 pounds, from Havana, Cuba, Gustavo Mendoza.
Well, you heard the introduction of Gustavo Mendoza, and you hear the music signifying the arrival of the one and only Missing Link. Just coming into the view of this great crowd here at Barton Coliseum as Dark Journey leads the Missing Link, and Link's following it right along. None too quick for Gustavo Mendoza. I wonder what Link would do if they started calling the Hogs like they do at the Razorback ball games or in Fayetteville or at War Memorial Stadium here in Little Rock. You notice we have two rings tonight. A big two-ring battle royal tonight. It will not be televised. The fans here at Barton Coliseum tonight will see that tremendous matchup. A lot of money on the line, and there is the Missing Link, and there is none like him. And the Missing Link is motoring after Gustavo Mendoza. And I don't think we're going to get the introduction here. Mendoza taking the shortcut, catching Link coming in, but the Link is certainly not slowed very much by Gustavo Mendoza. And the Link is banging his head. The Missing Link manhandling Gustavo Mendoza. In comes the Link, and that battering ram. It may look like a head, but wrestlers that are his opponents would say it is a battering ram. Outside goes Mendoza, and following him very quickly behind is the Missing Link. And right back in comes Mendoza. The Missing Link, there's Dark Journey. Very smartly attired tonight, I might add. And the Link on that second rope with a headbutt right to the solar plexus. And this was short work for the Missing Link. The Missing Link with a resounding victory over Gustavo Mendoza. And I've been notified, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, it will be Gentleman Chris Adams and Savannah Jack when we come back with more Universal Wrestling Federation action.
From Devastation Incorporated, weighing 255 pounds, Savannah, Georgia, Savannah Jack with General Skandar Akbar.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Adams on his way to the ring. And there he is. He has accepted the challenge of General Skandar Akbar, and he indeed has the eye of the tiger. This young man is a phenomenal athlete. This should be a tremendous matchup here. Let's go back up to Nick Avance.
Weighing in today at 235 pounds from Stratford-on-Avon, gentlemen, Chris Adams. This match will be one fall, 10-minute time limit.
Gentlemen, Chris Adams. And if you were with us earlier in the program, you heard that statement that he made, I thought was done in very good taste. But what else would you expect from Chris Adams, to be very honest with you? He was a former world's champion with an organization that decided to relieve him of that title because he could not make a match. He could not be at a city, at a building. I find that somewhat distressing, but be that as it may, Chris Adams, I'm sure that is far, far from his mind now, as he is squaring off with a man that General Akbar calls the Procure, as we look at a very handsome young Chris Adams. He's a great athlete. Young brother was a medal winner in Olympics in judo, I understand. Chris Adams, of course, with one of the most devastating single maneuvers in wrestling today. His execution of the super kick is poetry in motion. I guess, of course, unless you're on the wrong end of the super kick. And Savannah Jack showing his strength, and Adams showing his agility as he comes off the ropes. Savannah Jack has also demonstrated a great deal of skill in executing his version of the super kick. Now, whether he got it from Chris Adams or seeing Chris Adams on national television, which could have happened, or perfected it himself, which he would probably admit to, that question remains to be seen as Adams breaking cleanly, but Savannah Jack with a cheap shot, and Adams single leg pickup, and Adams with a side headlock. He's a wrestling machine. Adams has been in the ring with the best of, and around that man, General Skandar Akbar, one of the most devious men in wrestling, and Akbar was very incensed, seemingly, that Adams was making a very simple statement that he wanted Terry Gordy's UWF heavyweight championship. Well, that's a legitimate statement. Akbar says his men are being bypassed, which is a definite untruth. Adams out wrestling Savannah Jack here, side headlock. As I mentioned earlier in the hour tonight, action in Springfield, Missouri, coming to Wichita, Kansas Sunday night. Monday in Kansas City. Expect a great crowd in Wichita and Kansas City. Also coming to Midland, Texas, beautiful Chaparral Center this week. Also Lubbock, Texas, Joplin, Missouri, Amarillo, Texas, and October the 19th in Fort Worth. Adams reversing Savannah Jack's attempted hip toss, and Adams beating him to the punch, back to the side headlock. Chris Adams is so sound fundamentally. He makes very, very few mistakes, and to be honest with you, he reminds me somewhat of Ted DiBiase and Terry Taylor in as much as that he just doesn't make a lot of mistakes. And I want to say that I'm like many, many of the fans, appalled at the way Buddy Roberts won the television title. And a clothesline by Savannah Jack. Much to Savannah Jack's credit, he got back up to his feet very rapidly. He's a very agile man. Has a great athletic background, a lot of football in this man's background. The Procure, as Akbar calls him. Football tackle by Savannah Jack. Looks like he's setting Adams for some type of suplex. Adams reversing it. And Chris Adams on standing vertical suplex on Savannah Jack. Adams now taking over on the attack. Belly to back fall-away suplex by Chris Adams. General Akbar not too thrilled about this situation. Adams going up on that top rope. And Akbar shook the ropes. Adams came off. And we've got a disqualification here. Adams was going up on top, and Akbar shook the ropes, and Adams came down. I'm not sure that he didn't hurt his knee, but Akbar now holding, and there's Savannah Jack with his version of the super kick. Two of them, right to the face of gentleman Chris Adams. Adams was most definitely the aggressor and had the upper hand in the match, but Akbar has entered and has been disqualified. Two super kicks at the hands of Savannah Jack. The referees are at the ring. Chris Adams, the winner by disqualification. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with more UWF action after this brief timeout.
One fall with a 10-minute time limit. From Devastation Incorporated, weighing 350 pounds from Chicago, Illinois, Bad Leroy Brown with General Skandar Akbar. And in the red corner, at 265 pounds, from Kansas City, Missouri, Jeff Gaylord.
Jeff Gaylord, 1981 Football All-American from the University of Missouri, going up against a man that has apparently turned his back on America, because Bad Leroy Brown, taking General Skandar Akbar's money from Devastation Incorporated. Big Bad Leroy Brown, a man that weighs well over 300 pounds. One of the most agile big men in pro wrestling, and Jeff Gaylord will be severely tested in this contest. Leroy, a bigger man, more experience, and General Skandar Akbar on the outside. We know his involvement. We've just seen that just a few moments ago, and I'll assure you that gentleman Chris Adams will answer not only the aftermath, the challenge of that situation, because I think Akbar is making a major point that Savannah Jack has the best super wrestling, and that Chris Adams has a long way to go before he's going to earn a shot at Terry Bam Bam Gordy. As Leroy Brown taking over on Jeff Gaylord. And Leroy Brown, I can't see from this particular vantage point, but obviously was biting Jeff. Leroy biting Jeff Gaylord. Bad Leroy Brown, a man that's been around and has been in some of the toughest battles in pro wrestling history. Arm twist on Gaylord. Gaylord now reversing it. Gaylord and Leroy with that little shot right to the throat. Karate thrust. Gaylord goes down on his back from that football tackle. I don't think he can counter anybody quite as big as Leroy in the Big Eight. Gaylord trying a drop kick. He didn't get it executed. Up there again, and that was a perfectly executed drop kick by the big man from Kansas City, Jeff Gaylord. Shawnee Mission High School, and Leroy Brown with that clubbing right hand. He caught Gaylord flush in the jaw. Gaylord is wobbly. Clothesline by Bad Leroy. Leroy Brown with that big elbow, and I mean, he elevates himself. That's a chore in itself, and Leroy Brown, Big Bad Leroy Brown, victorious for Devastation Incorporated. And ladies and gentlemen, don't go away, because the UWF Tag Team Championship will be on the line when we come back.
Link take down Hollywood John Tatum and win Missy Hyatt for a day. Well, I spent a whole day with Missy Hyatt, but I saved 1 hour, people. For all of you that wanted to take a shot at Missy Hyatt other than myself, this is the dunking booth, and you get to spend 1 hour. So all of you, come on down, try out your right arm, take a shot at Missy Hyatt, because Missy Hyatt, I think you're all washed out.
Boy, oh boy. This is the one I've been waiting for. This is the big one. Bam Bam. in Houston, Sam Houston Coliseum, the big cage, the dangerous cage, the cage they all talk about in Houston. Bam Bam, you and me. 2 birds down, 1 to go. It's going right down my street, not Bad Street. You talk about Bad Street, brother. I'll walk down Bad Street, take all the signs, and I'll knock at the door at the last. Excuse me, I gotta get tongue twisted. But I knock at that door at the end of it and kick it down. Let me tell you something, Bam Bam. You're going down in Sam Houston Coliseum, and the people are gonna be going nuts.
You've heard them say what
UF Tag Team titles in the ring at this time. That's 2 from Hot Stuff International, weighing 230 pounds, from every girl's dream, Eddie Hot Stuff Gilbert. And at 250 pounds, from every man's nightmare, Sting.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Ross back with you here, and I'm joined by the one and only Michael P.S. Hayes. I guess you've been partying with Buddy, huh?
That's right, baby. The new television champion, the man that screens all competition to the only champion, Terry Bam Bam Gordy. And Pure Sexy's here. I want to see this title match. I believe that Sting and Eddie Gilbert got ripped off at WrestleFest.
Speaking of ripped off, we saw right here on the monitor the replay of Buddy Jack Roberts and with a double handful of tights pulling Terry Taylor's tie. And it's documented, Michael. So let's not try to evade the point. It's documented.
It's documented by Joe Watson. You do not reverse decisions.
That's all right. I'm not debating that point.
All right. Buddy's a champion. That's the point. My brother is the champion, and I am Purely Sexy. Let's go to the ring.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're waiting on the arrival of Tommy Rogers and Bobby Fulton, the Fantastics. There they are, and they will be in the ring in just a few moments. They'll be in all over the area. Springfield, Missouri, Wichita, Kansas City, Midland, Chaparral Center in Midland. Beautiful facility there. Lubbock, Texas, Joplin, Missouri, Amarillo, Texas, and the big one on October the 19th, Michael, back in your stomping grounds.
That's right, baby.
I don't know how welcome you're going to be, though, at the Coliseum.
At the Cowtown Coliseum, Billy Bob's Fort Worth, Texas, the national TV tapings. And I'm ready, and I know the Metroplex is ready.
Cowboys like you there in Fort Worth?
Hey, baby, the Freebirds have walked all over the Metroplex since 1982, and it ain't gonna be no different on October 19th.
A lot of those Cowboys a lot of them kind of like Bam Bam, but I've heard a few stories about you and the Cowboys.
Hey.
We'll clarify.
Let me tell you, I'll put it to you like my brother, the champ, says.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing with 4 wheels he can't drive, and ain't nothing with 4 legs he can't ride. And we gonna ride everybody at that Cowtown Coliseum.
Right next to Billy Bob's, world's largest honky-tonk, and this match is the rematch. First time on television, first rematch. Fantastics won the UWF Tag titles at WrestleFest 86 in Tulsa on September 27th.
And listen to the crowd.
Ladies and gentlemen, entering the ring, the current UWF.
Oh, go ahead and brag about it, why don't you? He really makes me sick, little puke.
The fans there at Barton Coliseum.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I see John Tatum and Jack Victory. Hollywood and Jack Victory on the way to the ring.
They are indeed on the way to the ring.
This match, you see what happened at the beginning of the show at the closing moments of their brawl from last week. This thing might not even get started.
Might not even get started right here. Let's,
I still can't understand they're fighting about it. This is all over abroad, man. This is all over abroad. It's ridiculous. I said it last week. There's thousands of them out there. Why fight over one?
Off and listen to me for a second.
Oh, he's not very friendly ground.
It's quite obvious to see by the way you two walked in this ring that we're the only 2 sharp-dressed men in America today. I know, Mr. Referee, I'll get out of your way in just a second. I'm out here and I'm going to say this.
I don't know if I'd run my mouth.
First
Neither of them like them.
You wouldn't have a chance at this title if it wasn't for me, little Eddie Gilbert. You know that? And you get back, Crayola face.
He might be barking up the wrong tree.
I'm going to get out of your way and let both of y'all 2 teams beat the hell out of each other here in just a second. But I want both of y'all to know something. Jack Victory and I, and sign the title match to the winners. Whichever one of y'all win, we get them immediately. No more matches. You won't get to wrestle them again. You won't get to wrestle them again. It'll be us. It'll be us.
Well, I guess they've obviously signed to meet the winners.
You know what? I kind of hope you'll win, because I'm going to enjoy kicking your butt, boy.
There it goes. It's all back around the Missy Hyatt and Hot Stuff International collaboration.
I wish they'd get out of the ring so we can start the match.
Really, this is a title match. If they know they've got the winners, then say their piece, get gone.
I can't believe you, Michael. You just agreed with me. You just agreed with me on a point.
Well, this is a title match.
Mark that down, fans. Michael Hayes agreed with me on 1 point.
Right, here they go. Let's see that.
They're going to expend a lot of energy that they're going to need, I'll tell you that, if they're not careful. We got 2 rings sitting side by side. Later tonight, the big 2-ring battle royal. The fans at home will not be able to see that. It will not be televised. The fans here at Barton Coliseum in the state capital of Little Rock, Arkansas, we'll see that big battle royal.
You know what else took me a while to get here? I was out on the midway, and the girls were just mobbing me everywhere, man.
Well, we are during the, I don't know, okay. We are in the midst of the Arkansas State Fair. Very festive mood here.
They
this
wanted
evening.
me to sell kisses for $100 a pop. Can you believe that?
How much?
I was that cheap.
How much money did you make?
Didn't do it. I'm not a cheap thing, man.
All right.
Not like some of these sleazes around here, like Dark Journey. They're going to fisticuffs right away. The point I was making was this is a title match, and there should be no interference. There's never any interference when my brother puts up the championship.
Of course
and
not.
I think everybody should be entitled to the same respect.
Boy, you're a humanitarian all of a sudden.
Hey.
Maybe there's a change of heart here, Michael, but probably not.
Probably not.
Side headlock by Bobby Fulton on Eddie Gilbert.
Backs him into the ropes. There he goes. Went for a hip toss, reverse by Fulton. Body slam. Fulton is moving another body slam. Good arm drag. There's a good teamwork that's made them champions twice, 2 or 3 times now. Keeping a fresh man in, and they've got the arm going. They're going to stay with it. There's the arm drag twist.
There's a tap.
Smart. Good arm drag. Take the big man right down, and he's about your same size. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Once the guy's on the mat, they're all the same size. Now he better keep him down.
The man that Hollywood Tatum referred to as Crayola Face, Sting.
He just may pay for that comment later in the Battle Royal tonight.
You better believe it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to take a commercial break. Time out here in just a second for a commercial break. And we'll be back with more UWF action. We'll keep the cameras rolling, and you won't miss a thing. And we'll be right back after this very brief timeout. Welcome back to the Universal Wrestling Federation. It has been all fantastic since we left you just a few moments ago.
It definitely has. It started out with that arm drag twist, and they are rocking and rolling. Of course, not like the Freebirds, but they are cooking. They've definitely had the pace of this match set from the beginning their way, what they like, fast and furious. A lot of movement. What a drop kick.
Woo-hoo, what a drop. Rogers in the lights on that one. Oh, he's got a beautiful drop kick.
And good strength, too, to pick up a man like that. He hooked the leg. Good move. He hooked the leg, did not get the pin. It's not the size of the man in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the man, and this obviously shows it with these boys. Quick tags, keeping a fresh man in there. Up. Sting went to nail him. Fulton with the block.
Well, they're controlling this, Michael. They've controlled the tempo just from the time we heard the bell, from the outset. Man, they have been on the offensive.
There goes Eddie Gilbert up the top, and he got him. I can't help but wonder if Tatum and Victory hadn't been on Gilbert and Sting's mind from the beginning and maybe had him confused, and the Fantastics took advantage of that. Look at that big size 13 planted in that chest. Gilbert, the smashing elbow.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this match was signed for a no disqualification match where falls count in either ring. That's why we're coming off the top rope. We got both rings. That's the Universal Wrestling Federation style. We let it all out.
That's it, baby. Hey, they can count if he starts choking him, but they can't make him stop it. What a boot! Another boot. Fulton firing back. Good right hand. Here comes Gilbert. And he answers with the right hand. I think Gilbert senses victory here. He knows they've got him going and shoots him through.
Outside he is. Ooh, right into the steel post.
Boy, he did. He banged him in there. That'd normally be a call for disqualification. I think Fulton was trying to block it, but Sting's just too strong and still drove him in there.
And no doubt he is injured there. Now, this could be the turning point in the match. This could be the turning point right here. Because he's in a daze, and he's got to get back in the ring. He's the legal man in the ring.
Well, there you saw Carl Fergie counting him. Looks like he might be lacerated. Good body slam by Gilbert. Now he's giving him to his animal, Sting. Every man's nightmare. Ooh. Whoa, Whipper splash it. Fulton pulled up the knees.
Sting.
Right in the abdominal area. That has got to hurt.
He's got to make the tag and make it now.
He made it. Here comes Tommy Rogers. Good clothesline.
Oh, drop kick.
Good hand. Right hand. Boom, another one. He's on fire. Another drop kick. What speed? Couple of jabs. Whoa, wait a minute. He hit them ropes, and Gilbert tried to pull him over the top. He caught his balance. Gilbert got him anyway. He's pulled him outside and posted Tommy Rogers.
Remember, it's no disqualification for the championship in Falls County in either ring. And you're seeing it first right here on the Universal Wrestling Federation.
I'll tell you what, Eddie Gilbert is a bit of offensive weapon that you can't use in a regular match in this no DQ.
He's desperate.
He's come off the top twice. He's posted men, him and Sting, now a double suplex, it looks like. Yes.
Maybe he thinks if he wins the title, Michael Missy will come back to him.
I don't know. She loves winners. She's always stated that from the beginning.
We got
He ain't got the leg hook. Here comes Bobby Fulton with the save. Now that would also be a normal disqualification under normal rules.
The Fantastics are bloody. They've been battered the last few moments, and their titles hang in the balance here on the Universal Wrestling Federation.
They go to shoot them together. They hook arms. Went for a punch. He ducked it. And Tommy Rogers slipped under with a sunset. That's it. Was that a 3 count or did Sting stop it?
He got it. He got the 3 count. That was lightning.
I'm not sure.
They're battered. They're bloody. They may be bruised, but they're still the champions here on the Universal Wrestling Federation. Now, next week right here, the big championship, the UWF Heavyweight Championship on the line right here next week. Terry Gordy and Dr. Death Steve Williams, Michael.
That's right, and this will answer it. Terry beat him last time his shoulders was up. Also, another thing I wanted to mention, I hear the gentleman, Chris Adams, has come here, started running his mouth. He knows where the big leagues is, and he got a foot right in it.
Well, he'll be back here next week. We'll have a new UWF Top 10 next week, and a big one right here on television for the Heavyweight Championship. You'll see it all right here next week.
And my brother's the champ and Buddy's #1.
Ladies and gentlemen, for Michael P.S. Hayes, I'm Jim Ross signing off from Barton Coliseum. We'll see you next week right here on the Universal Wrestling Federation.
Been great to have you with us, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be with you again next Saturday.
Houston Wrestling
that held the contestants inside and brought on some wild and violent action. And this Friday night at the Sam Houston Coliseum, Dr. Death, Steve Williams, will make his 3rd entry into the cage. He has taken on 2 of the Freebirds, and he has beaten them. He will take on Freebird Bam Bam Gordy this coming Friday night at the Sam Houston Coliseum, and it is going to be the rip-rousing scrap of them all. It is going to top them all, and this fence then will go into mothballs because Dr. Death will either have completed his desire for vengeance or he will not, and he hopes that he will. You know that if you're behind him, he's going to do it. You're going to see a country whipping with Ted DiBiase going in there against Freebird Michael Hayes, and that in itself is going to be a revenge battle that's glued to that ring. A 6-man tag team riot with Hacksaw Duggan, the missing link, Chavo Guerrero on one side, and the one-man gang, Savannah Jack, and Big Bad Leroy Brown on the other side. You're going to see the TV team title at stake when Terry Taylor goes in against Freebird Buddy Roberts. That is a wild battle. And there is more, lots more. It's going to start. Now remember, the wrestling starts at 8 o'clock, but from 6 until from 6:30 until 7:30, there will be action taking place, but it will be the dunking of Missy Hyatt. You've known of these things that they take place in carnivals where you throw a baseball at the target. If you hit the target, down goes the subject into the pool of water. That's going to take place, and for $1 that goes to the Rotary Boys Club, you can come in and you can throw the ball at that target, and if you hit, you're going to have the pleasure of dunking Missy Hyatt. And this is going to be a show stealer that will take place for an hour prior to the time that the matches take place. There's lots more with Sting and Gilbert going in against Jack Victory and Jack Tatum in what is really a battle for Missy Hyatt. Tickets will be on sale starting Monday morning at 1919 Caroline. That's at the corner of Pierce in downtown Houston. There are good seats available. Get your seats, but be at the Coliseum on Friday night. But now let's look on Ted DiBiase and Jack Victory.
The bell sounds. This match is coming your way. One fall with a 30-minute time limit. You're looking at the big cheese, Ted DiBiase, as he's getting ready to do battle against Jack Victory. My name is Peter Burkholz, and sitting around alongside of me for this particular showdown, the voice of the Universal Wrestling Federation, Jim Ross.
Thanks very much, Pete. It's great to be back with you and all the great fans here watching 39 Gold. Here from the Sam Houston Coliseum. Should be a great matchup here. Ted DiBiase against Jack Victory. Carl Fergie, the third man in the ring, as we're gearing up for this Friday night. And what a card Friday night we have for the fans. It seems like it's been a long time since we've been back in the Coliseum. This Friday night, October the 17th, it's going to be a tremendous night of excitement. We'll tell you about that throughout this evening.
Featuring one of the superstars you're seeing in action right now. Regardless of how he makes out up against Jack Victory, Ted DiBiase is in that showdown that's going to feature a country whipping. And that's going to be something to watch as he gets his opportunity to have a chance to teach Freebird Michael Hayes a few lessons. Can you imagine the size of the leather belt Ted DiBiase is probably going to find to use on Michael Hayes?
Oh, it's got to be one of those big leather strap type belts, or perhaps a weight training belt. The country whipping match, if you don't know what a country whipping match is, it's a no disqualification matchup, one-on-one, and the individuals, in this case Ted DiBiase and Freebird Michael Hayes, will come to the ring both armed with leather straps, and they can use those leather straps